Happy first day of spring, y'all, 2023. Thank you, new subscribers. I appreciate y'all watching this channel. I know I'm small but mighty. More on these train derailments. I don't know if y'all have taken the time to look up some stats or whatever, but you don't really know what you don't know, right? So the U.S. sucks. China has more safety and way more people using the train systems, but they don't have derailments like we do. In the year 2020, it showed, I think, Germany as one of the top accident derailment places other than the U.S., and they didn't even have 300. So, yeah. U.S. sucks. The information says it's due to the crossings, lack of some sort of border thing or something, and safety and archaic, ancient ass fucking equipment, it being private, and yeah, greed, greed, greed. Y'all, the United States is under attack. Like, let's be real, but a little bit more on this train thing. So I knew this guy decades ago that was a train engineer, and he was a little drunk and told me that don't tell anyone kind of story or whatever. But did you know that our trains, I don't know if you're an engineer and you work on trains and you know this to be true, please comment down below, but I was told that don't ever buy near a train track, don't buy property, don't live there, don't be near them, because train companies will hook on cars with like nuclear waste and chemical waste, and they'll hook them on to a regular load, and they'll just make the tankers just drip and drip and drip until the thing is empty, and it'll just keep going around and around the country until it's empty. And that's how some companies get away with dumping illegal waste and toxic nuclear type substances or whatever. Don't know if that's true, but this guy had no reason to lie to me, and this was decades ago, so imagine what's happening now. And if you haven't caught on and you're just overwhelmed and you haven't been keeping up on the Palestine thing and other derailments or whatever, yeah, it's a fucking joke. It's a joke. These poor fucking people, they're trying to just, shut up a handful of families. It's not just Ohio, y'all. It's Pennsylvania, and so many people are going to lose their homes, their health, their lives. It's devastating, just devastating. My heart goes out to these people. It goes out to us all. I feel personally that our country is under attack, whether it's under attack through ignorance and greed and just selfishness, or whether it's outside sources. I personally don't believe that there's countries anymore. I think the whole country thing is just to keep us peasants fighting amongst ourselves and creating, oh, this is my culture, these are the borders. I think it's just to make us fight amongst ourselves. I believe that the world is run by corporations and elitists that don't care about boundaries and all like that. We can get into Joe and the Ukraine thing and the China thing. I think anybody who's up on even just a little bit of shit, it's like your kid telling you they didn't get into the cookie jar while they got crumbs all over their face, telling you, no, I didn't do that. So I don't know. I'm kind of over pointing stuff out. I'm more at the place where if you're watching some sort of apocalypse movie, whether It's zombies or war or plague or whatever the zombie apocalypse type movie is based on. You get to this point where you realize people are eating up the supplies when we should be rationing. People should be standing up and not having petty little fights over stupid shit. Like, we're at a place now where the whole world, if regular people you got to take care of yourself first. If you don't have a healthy diet and lifestyle, it's like if you can't clean your room and do your chores, you don't need a pet, something else to take care of, or you're not responsible enough. So same goes with us as a world. If you can't handle living a healthy lifestyle, being accountable for your choices, and your mistakes, forgiving yourself, having healthy boundaries, studying narcissism, studying love deficit disorders, otherwise known as codependencies. It's like people think that like elections are fucking real, and like we've just gone too far. We've gone too far, and those that are awake seem to be kind of like prepper minded, like not that that's bad, but just putting away food in your house, arming up and doing for you and yours ain't gonna cut it. It ain't gonna cut it. We need to think bigger than that. But first we have to think small. First you have to put your own oxygen mask on before putting the oxygen mask on those sitting next to you. So, and this is just all my own opinion. Comment down below if you've got better ideas or whatever. I don't claim to be a fucking guru, as the title says. But I just don't see how maybe it's because I'm old, but I know younger folks have access to more information, and in some ways are less advanced than older folks because of experience and maybe starting their lives a little slower. Not everybody, but as generations go back and back and back, children had to grow up and act like adults much younger, it seemed. In most instances, people knew how to grow food and take care of themselves, were parents very young, and those sorts of things. I saw something today that, a little off topic, it said something about charge your children $250 a month and save that money, don't spend it, and then when they move out when they're 25, give them 20,000 something fucking dollars. Like, dudes, I can't imagine being at home. Maybe it's because I come from an abusive home, but I couldn't wait to be 18 to get the fuck out. And we were taught, even though it was an abusive home, not everything's bad. There are good things. Even in abusive homes, you learn things. But we were expected to start acting like young men and women at the age of about 12. Responsibilities and accountability and earning your own money and chores and grades and on and on and on. So we live in a different world. My home life sucks, so I'm not saying it's the best, but there were good things about it. Thank you, Mom. No dads, but thank you, Mom, even though you're a pedo, fucking horrible person, child abuser. Not everybody's all bad. I shout outs to you for teaching me to take care of myself. But I just feel like it's so obvious now that elections are a joke. Our leaders are a joke. Are we not adults? Is it because people eat McDonald's and calcify their pineal glands and take drugs and just party their lives away because of the pressure and pain of not only their childhoods, but the madness that we have to live in, unfulfilling jobs, all like that? Do we just not know how to adult anymore? Is it because we have so many leaders that live off of our blood, sweat, and tears and lives that we don't feel like we have the rights or the abilities to stand up against the tyranny. There's more of us than there are of them, y'all. I think it's time that we just start saying no. Like, just because some fake ass law is made that I don't get it. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. Like, so y'all must be overwhelmed too. So people shut down and just have another drink, worry about you and yours, and just try to make it through the day because it's all so overwhelming. But us elders, as we get older, I'm going to be 57. Yes, 57 here, 1st of April. I can't fucking believe it. But, you know, I'm at this age that I'm sort of shocked that other people from their late 40s on up aren't just sick of it, aren't just fed up. I'm talking worldwide. Take this fucking simulation back. Create smaller tribes of accountability. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but I know it's bad from what I've read and stuff. If the children aren't safe and they know you don't give a fuck about them and the system isn't set up so that they aren't trafficked and beaten and fed cancerous foods. I mean, I've said it before. When I was a kid, children went into the children's ward and regular hospitals and the beds weren't always full, so they would bring adults sometimes from the other floors of the hospital and bring them up on the children's ward sometimes when there weren't enough beds. Now our nations are covered with hospitals just for children. It doesn't take a genius to look at the death statistics since the arm ticket jibbity jab of what's going on with the world and the number of deaths and the young people being unalived. The censorship. I thought, that's why I started this channel. I thought as soon as it was 1984 censorship bullshit, that people would just be fucking furious and they'd just say, hell no, no more. I'm not living in some sci-fi 15-minute city, crappy ass food, poison injected, breathed in, pumped in every single way, shape, and form. We need to get back to the basics. Get simple. Like I said, put your oxygen mask on first in the form of don't support these corporations, support small business, healthy food, healthy water, healthy air. Start self-regulating your communities. It has to, I mean, I'm not down with burn the witch mob mentality shit. I'm down with wise elders starting to take back these, you know, communities. And I mean, there's a pedo on every corner. There are murderers, thieves, and liars and horrible fucking people everywhere. And even the good people just throw their garbage everywhere and don't feel like they need to give back. All they care about is fancy clothes, vacations, and a new car, and it isn't sustainable. We all see it isn't sustainable, and I think it's like I was saying, going back to the apocalypse types movies, that people know it's not sustainable, so they start sneaking the food and eating it all themselves, partying hard, and it's all gone in a night, what could last for months. I know, it's overwhelming, y'all, but you're not alone. It is a simulation. What we think and believe and how we live our lives definitely reflects and goes out as a ripple effect. So apathy and not participating and not even being able to picture in your mind. I mean, the younger folks, they can't even picture what it would be like to go down to the riverside and there not be garbage. That it should be teeming with life, and the waterways across the world are dying. Just the sky should be filled with birds. The food should make you feel pumped up and alive. And now it just, every generation it gets a little bit more apathetic and a little worse. And I just feel like, and I'm not judging. I'm not judging, I'm encouraging, because I know that when I got out of the house, because my diet was so controlled, I could not wait to eat a box of Lucky Charms and go to McDonald's or whatever and be free to eat and do whatever I want. But I still, even with all the junk food and stuff, I still made sure to get fruit and salads and things like that in my life. And now being 57, I'm an adult. I'm an old fucking adult, almost 57. So, you know, that there's old folks that, is it because of the medications that they just don't have a mind left? Is it because their diets and they're just worn down from not being able to process everything that they've been through? Like my grandparents went through a time where, you know, horse and buggies, no TV and all that, to airplanes and, you know, cars and everything, obviously TV. And if your grandparents are still alive, you know, I guess my age of grandparents, there might be a few left. I don't think so. But even our parents, you know, so in our lifetime, in my lifetime, going from no TV and all that to walking around with a computer in my hand all day that I have to have in order to function with my business and stuff, like it's an electronic leash where we're in a concentration camp that isn't any longer just designated to one little area. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. We're being imprisoned. Catch up on them 15-minute cities. All it takes is us saying no. All it takes is us being adults, starting to live healthy lives, taking away the power from the people that run these corporations. Quit acting like just because someone has more money and power than you, that they're like some sort of parent that gets to boss you around and tell you what's up. I think that it's time to step up, especially you old folks. What are you going to live forever? What's your legacy going to be? Doesn't matter if you lose or not. It's all about trying like this. Just fucking say something. If your community needs the trash pick, I pick up trash every fucking day. There's a new group of drug addicts that keep moving their stuff around. Somehow they're outsmarting the cops, and they're just leaving garbage and stuff everywhere. They got a new hidey hole. They think that nobody knows where they're at, but just a few people ruin a whole community. I'm not like hating on homeless people either. If you're homeless and you need a job and a place to stay and all like that, you should be provided for. But if you're the type of person that just wants to do drugs, you don't want to get off them, you don't want a job. There's a 16-year-old girl living with these friggin' scumbags. And I mean scumbags because of how they're living. I was raised and, you know, babysat, I should say, in some places where like one woman was a heroin addict and her place was spotless clean. She was an addict, but she was a functioning addict, and she obviously would be sick if she went off the drugs, off heroin. And when she went on the methadone, she was worse than she was than when she was on heroin. There should be in a country, in a world, I should say, fuck the country, every country should have something like iboga, that people get clean off of that with no withdrawals in one fucking night. And all they need is like 10 days or so of counseling to get them back on the right step. And that sort of information is suppressed. I know I'm all over the place on this, but my point being that the adults need to start adulting. Don't be apathetic. What does it matter at this point if the whole shit house is getting chemtrailed, derailed, you know, physically railed? Like, what does it fucking matter if it's all, the shit house is gonna fucking cave in anyway, if you don't stand up and can look yourself in the mirror and know that you tried, that you spoke out, that you fucking did something. You know, get out into the world, and again, start with yourself. Start with yourself. Get your diet clean, get your habits cleaned up, especially you elders, and start speaking up. You know, good people need to step up and be the good people, be the light, be the change. Don't get beaten down by all this. Don't be sad, and don't feel like you can't do anything. You can. You can. So, this is Lise, not your fucking guru. Thank you, new subscribers. Comment down below. Shine your light. There's beautiful things happening every day. Beautiful things. People just being fucking amazing. Overcoming, seeing themselves in a different light and working on who they are. It's a beautiful world. There's beautiful people out here, and hopefully you're one of them. Be the change. Shine on. One love.